Well, let's get another check on Palantir with those results out just a few moments ago. Strong numbers across the board, a beat and raise, but shares bouncing around here in overtime, now up fractionally, giving up their initial pop. And this is coming into the print. This was the fifth best performing stock in the S&P 500 year to date, up a whopping 170%. That pushed its forward price to sales ratio to 85 times. It's the highest in the S&P. So let's bring in Brent Thill, Jefferies equity analyst. He has a sell rating, a $60 price target. Brent, want to get your thoughts on this report and what it's going to take for you to perhaps change your tune on Palantir.
Yeah, the fundamentals are rock solid. The valuation is like anything we've ever seen, trading at 90 times revenue. So there's no way you can put any valuation metric on the actual valuation. Again, we've never seen anything like this. The fundamentals, we certainly haven't seen anything like it as well. So to split the two, we've said repeatedly, the fundamentals remain exceptional. The question is this the best place to put your capital? Based on all the other trends that are going on, you can buy Amazon at 15 times EBITDA. You can buy Palantir at 90 times revenue. So we've been arguing that we feel there's a better use of capital in other places. We've been wrong for part of this call on Palantir, but I think we've been right in those other names, just given the valuation concern, and they continue to execute at an incredible high level. So there's nothing to really take away. The government business decelerated a little bit. 52% versus 53% last quarter. If you want to nitpick, obviously the government shut down. What's that going to do to the business? But ultimately, the commercial business is crushing it. They're putting up great numbers. And as Dr. Karp has said repeatedly, we haven't seen numbers like this from a software company. We've covered software for 30 years. There's nothing like this to compare it against.
So if we have nothing like it to compare it against, how do you get to a $60 price target?
25 times revenue, which would be one of the highest multiples in software right now. If you look across the entire industry, the highest multiple in our industry, whether it's Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, these are phenomenal companies that are producing huge returns that trade at those multiples. And so you have to assume that this execution continues consistently for years for that multiple to come down. We've never seen a 90 multiple. And look at the numbers. Why is the stock flat? Because it's flat because the multiple's so high and there's no real room on the multiple expansion to go.
Brent.
So again, I go back to way better other stories in AI to invest in that I have more conviction in.
If I were an investor sitting at home, though, I think I would wonder, is Brent Thill just stuck? I mean, you had the $60 price target. It's over 200. Like, you could double your price target and still have a strong sell on the thing. So how does this work? Like, do you have to stay at 60 just because, in for a penny, in for a pound?
No, I think we look at multiples. We've been doing this for a long time, John. This isn't our first rodeo. So when we saw Snowflake implode, Datadog implode, we weren't on the Snowflake trade. We had a hold, and everyone's like, why don't you have a buy? And ultimately, there's a point where these crack. Palantir has done a phenomenal job. But when you look at so many other names in AI across our tech franchise that we cover, many of these names are up 50 to 100%. So would we like 150, 160% return that Palantir's had year to date? Great. We have a safety net around other names that are up 50 to 100+%. And so, again, it's a relative bet. And I think when you look across institutional money managers, they've made the same bet. A lot of our clients have made the wrong bet, not betting with Palantir, and ultimately it comes down to valuation. The retail investor can bet because they don't really know the valuation. They don't know it trades. You can literally take a 60-point multiple between the second highest ranked name, which is Cloudflare or CrowdStrike, and the gap between that and Palantir is like 60. So that it's a number that we don't feel comfortable with.
Okay.
And we feel comfortable, again, with others. I'm not taking anything away from the fundamentals. Fundamentals are great.